Hi, gang. Hopefully, I find you happy and healthy when you listen to this. If not, take care of yourself first, and we'll see what we can do to make everything work out right. Now, I'd like to point out a little video that I'm going to keep probably up for another week or two. It was from Jessica Parsons, and she's my CIS 233 student, and she's done a wonderful job. It's just pretty much a rah-rah speech, which, it's good to hear from time to time. One of the things I wanted to point out is from now on, there will be no any late homework. So anything before this date can be late, but everything after that will not be late no matter what. Now we have a limited amount of time to play with because I have to turn in my grades, but I can extend the class until 5:20. The other thing that I need to make sure that you're aware of is right now we're switching from a graded class to a pass no credit. And if you want a letter grade, you have to request it. Now I'm going to assume that everybody wants a letter grade, but I can't assume it. So what I want to do is I want to come over here to quizzes, and then there's a survey down here, and what you do is you click on this and it says, do you want a letter grade? And you take the survey. Well, I've already done it, so obviously what you'll see is something that looks like this. And then if you want to grade it, just select that and hit submit. Now the nice thing about this is you can come back and change. Now after 5:20, I'm going to turn it in as is, but even after that time, if you realize that there's an issue that you do need a grade and you selected pass fail, I can go back and change it after that, but it's going to be jumping through some more hoops. So please make a decision by 5:20, and I will use this as my guide to whether to give you a grade or not grade. If you do not take this survey, I have to assume that you're going to take it at pass no points. So that's just kind of the way things are going right now. So now I'm glad I'm at the quiz section because what's going to pop up is eventually I'm going to have a quiz. Now it's going to be available come the 13th, April 13th. And what will happen is you'll have the whole week to start the quiz. But once you start the quiz, you only have 4 hours. So let me repeat that. You can start that quiz at any time through Sunday, which would be the 19th. Sunday night, I should say. You can take it. You'll notice that there's no quiz available right now. And I will not start grading until the 20th. So you might be able to slide it in there, but just only use 4 hours. Now, the quiz itself is open book, open note, open web, just not open classmate. Now what I want you to do is once you click on this, once it's available, it will download a zip file. And if you're using a PC, you just double click there and then you can easily drag it right over there. And since I've already done this, I'm going to replace, but you won't have to replace it because you won't have them. Now once you've done that, you'll have this zip file right here. I would highly recommend that you just hit delete, because that way it sticks it in the trash can. You won't accidentally send that zip folder up and not the finished product. Now the second piece of advice that I give you is I would recommend very highly that you work inside this folder, saving all the files here, and you will be in much better shape. If you take these files outside that, you're going to screw up the pass, or you might not bring back all the files, and then I get all bent out of shape because I have to give you a lower grade than you probably would have if you started here. Now I've got your own little template right here if you want, or you could use the template you got from all the homework that you did in class. That's truly up to you. But when you're done, call it quiz, and then it wouldn't hurt to have your name in there or your initials. That would be nice, just in case I have a couple quizzes, and sometimes, believe it or not, the browser gets locked up and I don't catch it, and then I grade the same page over twice. Now the thing I want to point out is recreation of this picture, which is an HTML file, let me blow it up a little bit here, is going to be worth 60 points. Minimize that. This quiz doc right here is going to be worth 20 points. Now this is one of the most popular things people forget to do. It's quick and dirty. There's going to be 7 questions. It's going to be spill your guts, but I also want you to use your own words. There you go. And then another one is going to be fixing oops.html or oops2 or whatever oops number it is. Double clicking on that, you notice it's so bad that it does not even show up. So what you want to do is or you don't have to, I'm lazy. I always go to validator when something's not popping up, and then I come here and validate by uploading a file. Now that's perfectly acceptable, and it's going to give you pretty good hint as to what the issues are. But typically when you can't see the page at all, it's usually a title tag you forgot to end or a style tag or something like that, because there's some content there that you're going to have to fix. And typically I make 4 or 5 mistakes. It will say inside the quiz how many mistakes there are. Not only do I recommend you do that for oops, but when you're getting ready to complete the quiz.html that you're recreating that page, I would recommend you upload that and validate that way, because you know that the code is good and I won't have to ding you for writing bad code. So that's the quiz there. Now some information about this document. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. There we go. Oh, come on, be nice. There we go. Now, first of all, this is what you're going to recreate. You're going to use HTML, CSS, and all these images. Now, I'm going to have a different image, and I'll even give you a hint. It's probably going to be something to do with today's most popular topic. But notice this image, it's floated to the right, and the text right here is in the center. Same way with this, floated to the right. Well, sometimes I float things to the left, but using CSS is fine to get that to do that. Also, notice that this is red. This is red. Do you have to have the exact color red? No, you don't. Same way with this background color. It just so happens to be green. I will accept any shade of green. It could be light green, dark green, green. But what I don't want is purple, black, or some other color. Same way with this. This is gold, but I would probably accept orange as long as it's close. And I am not super anal retentive, and I'm also mildly colorblind, so some shades I don't see at all. Now the other thing I should point out is I'm not going to be anal retentive about the font size, but I don't want you to give me this font size when it's this. I also want you to recognize that this is a regular font, but that's bolded and that's bolded. So those are the kind of differences you want. Also, if I ask for sports teams or favorite websites or whatever, if you don't agree with my websites, put your own websites in, as long as those links work. Also, you should notice that there is some spacing here, i.e. some padding. Well, you're going to have to do that with CSS. And then last but not least, notice it says your email. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to put your email address there, but I also want you to make it a link that would launch an email client if it worked properly. Sort of like what we did with the info page. So it's that good old mail to with an ahref, and you'll be a happy camper. Now I'm extremely lazy, so I use tables. So this is a 3-row table, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Also notice that this is 1 column, this is 2 columns, and this is 3. So this row spans 3 columns, this row spans 2 columns and then 1 column, and then this row has 3 columns. So that was a major hint right there too, by the way. So this is how we're going to be doing it. You need to know your HTML in order to get this to looking right. Also, I know you really can't tell it, but this is going to be centered, and this is going to be centered, even though it looks like it's not. and that you have to guess the padding. No, it's centered. So you should be in good shape with that. Now, hopefully you don't have any other questions. Just know that by default, I have to give you pass fail. If you don't want pass fail, click right here. If you're not sure what you want, be safe and take a letter grade. And if you want to change it to pass fail, that's fine. And while I'm at it, you're going to want to submit your quiz right up here, but we're not ready to submit it because I need to take this folder right here and right click and send to compressed folder. And that's how easy it is to make a zip folder. It always goes to my other monitor because that's the default monitor. And now what you'll do is you come back to this portion of the quiz. You'll be inside it. The clock will be telling you how much time you got left, and you just click on the submit. Sort of like some of the same things that we do on the discussion boards. Now, don't panic if you don't do very well. I will give you opportunities to get more points, and if you totally butcher it, which I don't think anybody's going to do that, but if you do, what you can do is I will give you the quiz back and let you fix all the mistakes, and we'll split the difference. Now, obviously, if you got 90 or above, I'm not going to let you do that because that's wasting my time. If you have 80, I'll let you go back and do it because split the difference, it's going to be 10 points. If you need some additional points, hey, we have that cool thing, the weekly review. There's more than 10 weeks worth of reviews, so you'll get some extra points if you continue to post after your 10. Also, I need to really harp on you because some of you have fallen behind on the weekly review posting. This is an easy way to help yourself towards an A. It's also an easy way to help yourself to a lower grade. And so you definitely don't want to do that. And remember, if you have any questions, I am literally just an email away. And if it gets really rough, what I can do is I can set up a personal conference through here, and I can show you on my monitor what you need to do, and then you can go from there. Now, the thing about it is, if this was an in-person class, I would be more than happy to give you some hints. That is why I've given you more hints than I normally do for a class before they take it. So that's kind of my way of making up. And just remember that I will give you additional time to turn in, and anything that was due after spring break will no longer be late, and I will not penalize you at all. And that you have until 5:20 to complete the class, but you have until 4:19, end of 4:19, to complete the quiz. So please keep chugging along. I know you guys can do it. I know it's been pretty crazy. Just remember, I'm pretty laid back and relaxed when it comes to grading. And I also know how crazy this world has been for some people. And fortunately, I am pretty blessed, so I tend to be more forgiving when people are not so lucky as I am. So you take care of yourself and take care of your family. Do social distancing. And hopefully I'll see you someday and we can go out for payway. But if not, have a good life if I don't talk to you after class. Take care. Bye.